Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Podcast Classroom. I'm so excited you're here today because we're going to talk about something really special, something that can completely change how you speak English. Have you ever wondered how some people seem to speak English so naturally? Like they just flow with the language? Well, today I'm going to share a secret technique with you. It's called shadowing. And trust me, it's going to be a game changer for your English speaking. But first, let me ask you something. When you speak English, do you sometimes feel like your mouth can't keep up with your brain? Do you know what you want to say, but the words just don't come out smoothly? If you're nodding right now, don't worry. You're not alone. This happens to almost every English learner. Today, we're going to fix that problem together. By the end of this podcast, you'll know exactly how to use the shadowing technique. You'll understand why it works so well, and most importantly, you'll have a clear step-by-step plan to start practicing today. So grab a notebook if you want to take some notes, get comfortable, and let's dive into the amazing world of shadowing. Trust me, your future English-speaking self will thank you for listening to this episode. Okay, let's start with the basics. What exactly is shadowing? Imagine you're walking behind someone on a sunny day. You can see their shadow on the ground, right? The shadow follows every movement. When they move their arm, the shadow moves too. When they walk faster, the shadow walks faster. The shadow copies everything, almost at the same time. That's exactly what we do with language shadowing. We listen to English speech and we copy it. We follow it like a shadow. We try to say the same words at almost the same time as the speaker. But wait, this isn't just repeating. This is different from normal repetition practice. When you repeat, you listen to a sentence, then you pause, then you say it. With shadowing, there's no pause. You speak along with the audio. You become the shadow of the English speaker. Think of it like singing along to your favorite song. You don't wait for the singer to finish each line. You sing together with them, right? That's shadowing. But instead of singing, we're speaking English. Now, you might be thinking, but that sounds really hard. How can I speak at the same time if I don't know what they're going to say next? Great question, and you're right. It is challenging at first, but that's exactly why it works so well. When you shadow, your brain has to work really fast. It has to listen, understand, and speak all at the same time. This trains your brain to process English much faster. It's like going to the gym for your English speaking muscles. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you're listening to someone say, "Good morning, how are you today?" In normal repetition, you would listen to the whole sentence, then say, "Good morning, how are you today?" But with shadowing, you start speaking as soon as you hear "good morning." So you say "good morning" while they're saying, "How are you today?" At first, you might only catch one or two words. That's totally normal. Some students worry they're doing it wrong because they can't shadow everything perfectly. But remember, even catching some words is progress. Every word you shadow is training your brain. The beautiful thing about shadowing is that it trains multiple skills at once. You're improving your listening because you have to pay attention carefully. You're improving your pronunciation because you're copying native speakers. You're improving your speaking speed because you have to keep up with the audio. And you're improving your rhythm and intonation because you're following the natural flow of English. It's like getting 4 different types of practice all at the same time. That's why shadowing is so powerful. That's why I call it the secret technique. It's not really a secret, but many students don't know about it. And the ones who do use it see amazing results. Now, let me explain why shadowing is so effective. There are several scientific reasons why this technique works better than many other speaking methods. First, shadowing trains your brain for automatic speech. Think about when you speak your native language. Do you think about grammar rules? Do you plan each sentence carefully? Of course not. You just speak naturally and automatically. This is called fluency, and fluency is what every English learner wants. When you shadow, you don't have time to think about grammar rules. You don't have time to translate from your native language. You just have to listen and speak. This trains your brain to use English automatically, just like native speakers do. Second, shadowing improves what we call phonological processing. That's a fancy way of saying it helps your brain recognize and produce English sounds faster. Every language has different sounds and rhythms. When you shadow, you're training your mouth and your brain to get comfortable with English sounds. Think about learning to play piano. At first, your fingers move slowly and carefully. But with practice, they start moving automatically. They remember where the keys are. That's what happens to your mouth when you shadow. Your tongue, your lips, your jaw, they all learn the movements of English automatically. Third, shadowing gives you massive amounts of input and output practice at the same time. Input means listening and understanding. Output means speaking. Usually, students practice these separately, but with shadowing, it combines them. You're getting double the practice in the same amount of time. Fourth, shadowing helps with something called prosody. This includes rhythm, stress, and intonation. These are the things that make English sound natural. You know how sometimes someone can say all the right words, but still sound strange? Usually it's because their prosody is off. Their rhythm doesn't sound natural. When you shadow, you naturally copy the rhythm and intonation of native speakers. You don't have to think about it. Your brain just follows along. This is much more effective than trying to learn rhythm and intonation through rules and explanations. Finally, shadowing builds confidence. Many students are afraid to speak because they're worried about making mistakes. But when you're shadowing, you're focused on keeping up with the audio. You don't have time to worry about mistakes. This helps you become more comfortable with speaking English. I've seen students who were too shy to speak in class become confident speakers after practicing shadowing for just a few weeks. It's really amazing to watch. And here's something interesting. Research shows that shadowing actually changes your brain. It creates new neural pathways for language processing. It's like building new highways in your brain for English. The more you shadow, the stronger these pathways become. All right, now let's get practical. I'm going to give you a complete step-by-step guide to start shadowing today. I'll break this down into easy steps so you can follow along. Step 1. Choose the right material. This is super important. You need to choose audio that's at the right level for you. If it's too easy, you won't improve much. If it's too hard, you'll get frustrated and give up. Here's how to choose good shadowing material. First, listen to a piece of audio without looking at the text. Can you understand about 60 to 80% of what they're saying? If yes, that's perfect for shadowing. If you understand less than 60%, it's too difficult. If you understand more than 90%, it's probably too easy. Good sources include news reports, podcasts for English learners, audiobooks, educational videos, and even some movies or TV shows. I recommend starting with news reports because they use clear pronunciation and standard speed. The audio should be between 30 seconds and 3 minutes long when you're starting. Don't try to shadow a 30-minute podcast on your first day. Start small and build up. Also, make sure you have both the audio and the text. You'll need the text for some steps in the process. Step 2. Listen first. Just listen. Before you start shadowing, listen to your chosen audio 2 or 3 times without doing anything else. Just focus on understanding the meaning. Don't worry about pronunciation or speaking yet. This step helps your brain get familiar with the content. While listening, try to identify the main idea. Who is speaking? What are they talking about? Understanding the context will help you when you start shadowing. Step 3. Read along. Now take the text and read along while listening to the audio. This helps connect what you hear with what you see. Pay attention to how written words sound when spoken naturally. Notice things like connected speech. For example, how are you might sound like how are ya when spoken quickly. This is normal in English. Reading along helps you recognize these patterns. Do this 2 or 3 times until you feel comfortable with the text. Step 4. Start shadowing, easy mode. Now comes the fun part. Start with what I call easy mode shadowing. Play the audio and try to speak along with it. Don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about saying every word correctly. Your goal is just to make sounds at the same time as the speaker. Even if you only catch a few words, that's great. You're training your brain and your mouth to work together. Some tips for easy mode. Focus on the rhythm more than individual words. If you miss a word, don't stop. Just keep going. Speak quietly at first if that helps you feel more comfortable. Remember, this is practice, not a performance. Practice easy mode for about 5 to 10 repetitions. Each repetition will be a little better than the last. Step 5. Shadowing with text support. Once you're comfortable with easy mode, try shadowing while reading the text. This gives you extra support because you can see the words while you hear them. This step helps you connect written English with spoken English. It also helps you catch words you might miss when only listening. Practice this for about 5 to 10 repetitions as well. Step 6. Pure shadowing, no text. This is the ultimate goal. Shadow the audio without looking at the text. This is the most challenging step, but also the most beneficial. Don't expect to be perfect immediately. Even advanced English speakers can't shadow perfectly on their first try. The goal is to improve gradually. Focus on copying the intonation and rhythm. Even if you don't catch every word, your brain is still learning from the experience. Step 7. Record yourself. This step is optional, but really helpful. Record yourself shadowing and then listen to it. Compare your recording with the original audio. What sounds different? Is your speed too slow or too fast? Are you copying the intonation? This self-analysis helps you improve faster. Don't be discouraged if you sound very different from the original. This is normal. With practice, you'll get closer and closer to the natural sound. Step 8. Practice regularly. Consistency is more important than duration. It's better to shadow for 10 minutes every day than for 2 hours once a week. I recommend starting with 10 to 15 minutes of shadowing practice per day. You can split this into 2 or 3 short sessions if that works better for your schedule. Keep a shadowing practice log. Write down what you practiced and how it felt. This helps you track your progress and stay motivated. Step 9. Gradually increase difficulty. As you get better, start choosing slightly more difficult material. Maybe the speaker talks a little faster. Maybe the topic is more complex. Maybe there are multiple speakers. But increase difficulty slowly. Don't jump from beginner level to advanced level too quickly. Gradual progression is the key to success. Step 10. Mix different types of English. Once you're comfortable with basic shadowing, try different types of English. Shadow a news report, then an interview, then a story. Different types of content will train different aspects of your speaking. Each type of content has its own rhythm and style. News reports are clear and formal. Interviews are more conversational. Stories have more emotion and variation. This variety will make you a more flexible English speaker. Now, let me share some important tips that will make your shadowing practice much more effective. These are things I've learned from years of teaching and from working with students who have succeeded with this technique. Tip 1. Start slow, then speed up. Many students make the mistake of trying to shadow fast speech immediately. This is like trying to run a marathon when you've never jogged before. Start with slower speech. News reports are often good because they speak clearly and at a moderate pace. You can even slow audio down using various apps or software. Start at 75% speed if normal speed is too fast. Once you're comfortable, gradually increase to normal speed. Tip 2. Focus on rhythm first, words second. This might sound strange, but rhythm is more important than getting every word right. English has a very specific rhythm. When you copy this rhythm, you sound more natural even if you miss some words. Think of it like learning to dance. You learn the basic steps and rhythm first. The fancy moves come later. Same with shadowing. Get the rhythm and the words will follow. Tip 3. Use your hands. This might sound funny, but using your hands while shadowing can really help. Move your hands to the rhythm of the speech. This helps your body feel the natural flow of English. Some students find it helpful to tap their fingers on a table while shadowing. The physical movement helps reinforce the rhythm in your brain. Tip 4. Don't stop for mistakes. When you're shadowing and you miss a word or make a mistake, keep going. Don't pause and try to correct yourself. The whole point is to train your brain to keep up with natural speech speed. Real conversations don't have pause buttons, so your practice shouldn't have pause buttons either. If you miss something, just continue. You'll catch it better next time. Tip 5. Choose content you enjoy. Shadowing works best when you're interested in what you're hearing. If you love sports, shadow sports commentary. If you're interested in science, shadow science programs. When you enjoy the content, you'll practice more often and with more enthusiasm. And enthusiasm makes learning faster and more effective.
Tip 6. Practice in a private space. Especially when you're starting, practice shadowing in a private space where you won't be interrupted or feel self-conscious. You need to feel free to make sounds, even if they're not perfect. Some students practice in their car, in their bedroom, or even in the bathroom with good acoustics. Find a space where you feel comfortable being loud and making mistakes. Tip 7. Stay relaxed. Tension in your body makes speaking harder. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your jaw loose, and breathe normally. If you notice yourself getting tense, take a quick break and shake it out. Remember, this is practice, not a test. There's no pressure to be perfect. The goal is improvement, not perfection. Tip 8. Use technology to help. There are many apps and websites that can help with shadowing practice. Some can slow down audio without changing the pitch. Some have built-in text that highlight words as they're spoken. Don't rely completely on technology, but use it as a helpful tool. The most important thing is consistent practice, whether you use simple audio files or fancy apps. Let me tell you about the most common mistakes students make when practicing shadowing. If you avoid these mistakes, you'll progress much faster. Mistake 1. Trying to shadow everything perfectly from day one. This is the biggest mistake I see. Students think they should be able to shadow every word perfectly from their first attempt. When they can't, they get frustrated and give up. Remember, shadowing is a skill. Like any skill, it takes time to develop. Professional interpreters spend years perfecting their shadowing ability. Don't expect to master it in a week. Celebrate small progress. If you could only shadow a few words yesterday and you can shadow half the sentences today, that's amazing progress. Mistake 2. Choosing material that's too difficult. I mentioned this earlier, but it's so important I want to repeat it. Many students choose audio that's way too advanced for their level. They think this will help them improve faster, but actually it slows down their progress. If you can't understand at least 60% of the content when you first listen, it's too difficult for shadowing practice. Use simpler material and gradually work your way up. Mistake 3. Focusing too much on grammar rules. Shadowing is the time to think about grammar rules. If you're thinking, oh, that should be has been, not have been, while shadowing, you're missing the point. Shadowing is about training automatic speech. Grammar analysis can wait after the shadowing session. During shadowing, just focus on copying the sounds and rhythm. Mistake 4. Not practicing regularly. Some students practice shadowing for 2 hours one day, then don't practice again for a week. This doesn't work well. Your brain needs consistent exposure to build new neural pathways. 15 minutes of daily practice is much better than 2 hours once a week. Make shadowing a daily habit like brushing your teeth. Mistake 5. Always using the same material. While it's good to practice the same audio multiple times until you can shadow it well, don't use only one piece of audio for weeks. Your brain needs variety to develop flexibility. After you can shadow one audio piece reasonably well, move on to something new. Come back to old material occasionally to see your progress, but keep adding new challenges. Mistake 6. Shadowing too quietly. Some students shadow so quietly that they can barely hear themselves. This doesn't give you enough feedback about your pronunciation and rhythm. You need to speak loud enough to hear yourself clearly. This might feel strange at first, especially if you're shy about your English pronunciation. But remember, this is practice. No one is judging you. Mistake 7. Getting discouraged by slow progress. Shadowing progress can feel slow, especially in the beginning. Some days you might feel like you're getting worse instead of better. This is normal and temporary. Your brain is processing a lot of new information. Sometimes it needs time to organize all this input. Keep practicing consistently and you'll suddenly notice big improvements. Mistake 8. Shadowing without understanding. Some students shadow audio they don't understand at all, thinking that just copying sounds will help. While copying sounds does have some benefits, understanding the meaning makes shadowing much more effective. Make sure you understand the general meaning of what you're shadowing. This helps your brain make connections between sounds and meanings. Mistake 9. Not recording themselves. Many students avoid recording themselves because they don't like how their English sounds, but recording yourself is one of the fastest ways to improve. When you record yourself shadowing, you can hear exactly how you sound compared to the original. This awareness helps you adjust and improve much faster. Don't worry about sounding perfect in your recordings. The goal is to notice differences and gradually reduce them. Once you've mastered basic shadowing, you can try these advanced techniques to challenge yourself even more. Advanced Technique 1. Selective shadowing. Instead of trying to shadow everything, focus on specific elements. For example, shadow only the stressed words in each sentence. Or shadow only the question words. Or shadow only the verbs. This technique helps you focus on specific aspects of English that you want to improve. It's like doing targeted exercises at the gym instead of general cardio. Advanced Technique 2. Delayed shadowing. Normal shadowing is almost simultaneous with the audio. Delayed shadowing means you wait for a few words before you start repeating. So if the audio says, "The weather is beautiful today," you start saying "the weather" when they say "beautiful." This technique is more challenging because you have to hold information in your memory longer. It's great training for real conversation skills. Advanced Technique 3. Summarizing shadowing. Listen to a longer piece of audio, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. then shadow a shorter summary of what you heard. This combines listening comprehension with speaking practice. This technique helps you practice expressing ideas in your own words while maintaining natural English rhythm and pronunciation. Advanced Technique 4, Emotion Shadowing. Choose audio with strong emotions, maybe a dramatic speech or an exciting sports commentary. Try to copy not just the words and rhythm, but also the emotion and energy. This helps you practice using English with different emotional tones, which is important for natural communication. Advanced Technique 5, Multi-Voice Shadowing. Use audio with multiple speakers, like interviews or conversations. Try to shadow both speakers, changing your voice slightly for each one. This is very challenging, but great for developing flexibility in your English speaking. You learn to adapt to different speaking styles quickly. Remember, these advanced techniques should only be attempted after you're comfortable with basic shadowing. Don't rush to advanced techniques if you're still struggling with the basics. It's important to track your shadowing progress so you can see how much you're improving. Sometimes progress feels slow day by day, but when you look back over weeks or months, you'll be amazed at how much you've grown. Here are some ways to track your progress. Keep a shadowing journal. Write down what you practiced each day. Rate your performance from 1 to 10. Note any particular challenges or breakthroughs. Over time, you'll see patterns and improvements. Record weekly tests. Once a week, record yourself shadowing the same piece of audio. Keep these recordings and listen to them monthly. You'll hear clear improvements in your speed, accuracy, and naturalness. Time yourself. How long can you shadow continuously without getting exhausted? When you start, maybe you can only shadow for 30 seconds. After a month of practice, maybe you can shadow for 3 minutes. This shows your brain is getting stronger. Count accuracy. Pick a short piece of audio and count how many words you can shadow accurately. As you improve, this number will increase. But remember, accuracy isn't everything. Sometimes copying the rhythm with fewer words is better than getting all the words but losing the natural flow. Get feedback. If possible, have a teacher or advanced English speaker listen to your shadowing recordings. They can give you specific feedback about what's improving and what needs more work. Notice real-world changes. The best measure of shadowing success is how it affects your real English speaking. Are you speaking more smoothly in conversations? Are people understanding you more easily? Are you feeling more confident? These real-world improvements are the ultimate goal. Learning any new skill requires the right mindset, and shadowing is no exception. Let me share some thoughts that'll help you stay motivated and positive during your shadowing journey. Embrace the challenge. Shadowing is difficult, especially in the beginning, but difficulty is not your enemy, it's your friend. When something is challenging, it means your brain is working hard and growing. Easy practice doesn't lead to improvement. Think of shadowing like physical exercise. When you lift weights, your muscles feel challenged and tired. That's how they get stronger. Your language muscles work the same way. Focus on process, not just results. Some days your shadowing will sound great. Other days, it'll sound terrible. This is completely normal. Instead of judging yourself based on how you sound each day, focus on the process. Did you practice consistently? Did you try your best? Did you push yourself appropriately? If the answer is yes, then you had a successful practice session, regardless of how it sounded. Celebrate small wins. Notice and celebrate small improvements. Maybe today you shadowed one more word than yesterday. Maybe you caught a difficult sound that you missed before. Maybe you maintained the rhythm better. These small wins add up to big improvements over time. Acknowledging them helps keep you motivated for the long journey. Be patient with yourself. Language learning is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Some people seem to pick up shadowing quickly, while others need more time. This doesn't mean anything about your intelligence or language ability. Everyone learns at their own pace. Comparing yourself to others will only create frustration. Instead, compare yourself to where you were last week or last month. That's the only comparison that matters. Remember your why. When shadowing feels difficult or frustrating, remember why you started learning English in the first place. Maybe you want to travel more easily. Maybe you want better job opportunities. Maybe you want to connect with people from different cultures. Keep your big goals in mind. Every minute of shadowing practice is bringing you closer to those goals. Trust the process. Shadowing might feel strange at first. You might wonder if it's really helping. Trust the process. Thousands of students have improved their English dramatically using this technique. Your brain is making changes that you can't feel yet, but with consistent practice, those changes will become obvious in your speaking ability. Make it fun. Find ways to enjoy your shadowing practice. Choose content that interests you. Create little games or challenges for yourself. Practice with friends if possible. Learning should be enjoyable, not torture. If you're not enjoying your practice, try changing your approach or your material. Wow, we've covered so much information today. You now know what shadowing is, why it works, how to do it step by step, what mistakes to avoid, and how to stay motivated. Let me quickly summarize the most important points. Shadowing is speaking along with English audio almost simultaneously. It trains your brain for automatic, natural speech. Start with material you can understand about 60 to 80%. Focus on rhythm first, individual words second. Practice consistently for short periods rather than long, infrequent sessions. Don't expect perfection immediately. Celebrate small progress. Now, here's what I want you to do after this podcast ends. Your first action step: choose one piece of English audio that's appropriate for your level. It should be 30 seconds to 2 minutes long. Make sure you have both the audio and the text. Your second action step: set aside 10 minutes right now to try your first shadowing session. Follow the steps I outlined. Listen first, read along, then try easy mode shadowing. Your third action step: commit to practicing shadowing for just 10 minutes every day for the next week. Put it in your calendar like an important appointment. Your fourth action step: after 1 week, record yourself shadowing the same audio you started with. You'll be surprised at how much you've already improved. Remember, shadowing is not magic. It won't make you fluent overnight, but it is one of the most effective techniques for improving your speaking skills. Combined with other practice methods like conversation, reading, and grammar study, shadowing can dramatically accelerate your English improvement. I believe in you. I know that with consistent practice and the right techniques, you can achieve the fluent English speaking you've always wanted. Thousands of students have done it, and you can too. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Today, you learned about shadowing. Tomorrow, you take your first step by trying it. In a few months, you'll be amazed at how much your English speaking has improved. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you found it helpful and motivating. If you try shadowing, I'd love to hear about your experience. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every fluent English speaker once struggled with the same challenges you're facing now. You've got this. Start shadowing today, practice consistently, be patient with yourself, and watch your English speaking transform. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. Your fluent English future is waiting for you.